friends, and welcome to Narrative Notions, where we unleash our unbridled, maybe unpopular opinions on all things books, TV shows, movies, and media. All opinions are our own, and we apologize for nothing. Hashtag dead dove do not eat. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about books and how we rate them. But first, Bethany, give us an update on your currently reading and watching list.
Well, I finished everything. So I finished Word of Honor, I finished The Untamed, and I finished Priory of the Orange Tree. Um, I 3.5 rounded it up to 4, just because it's higher than like I liked it more than like I disliked it, you know? So, but there were still parts of it that I just like the ending. To me, it felt like 800 pages with a 20-page like roundup of everything. Like it was just 20 pages. I'm like, all of that for this. Okay. And then the last fight with the nameless one, the dragon that doesn't come around or shouldn't come out until the queen's lineage is gone or whatever. It it was a little anticlimactic to me, but that yeah. So, um I'm not super keen on reading the sequel when it comes out when we're 60 years old. Um, and I don't really want to read the prequel either. So it's just gonna be on my shelf. It's just gonna be there. I'm glad I read it. But it's not, it's a hit or miss kind of book, to be honest. So,
I get that.
so
Proud
I
of you
say,
for finishing it, though.
yeah. So I say, do with that what you will. Read it if you want to, but I mean, that's just my opinion on it. So,
I still have not finished a book. It's been about a month. It's been about a month, and I'm really disappointed in myself. But what are you gonna do? Life is what life is. I'm
mm,
still waiting on A Little Life from the library again, and I am currently 72nd in line. I started at 80th, and it says I still have 8 weeks to go. And then for my hold for Fourth Wing, I am currently 219th in line, and I started at 266th. I've got a 5 week wait. That's
nice.
great. So, here I am. I finally continued What Did You Do by, I think, Jeneane O'Reilly, which is the sequel to How Does It Feel? And it's dropped off really hard for me. I think the last time I updated, I was like, oh, I'm really irritated with the character Eli, blah, blah, blah. Now, like, the main male character, Mendax, he's meant to be crazy because he's like the Unseelie prince, and he's this other type of creature known as a smoke slayer, and apparently smoke slayers, like, I don't know, bond for life or something. It's kind of like penguins with their pebbles, and they become obsessed with their person, and they can't live in a world without their person, or they like become depressed and die like the penguins with the pebbles. I don't know. So he's just at a point where he's like super extremely crazy, and it's like really annoying now because a
Mm.
lot of what he's talking about literally makes no sense. And uh, I'm noticing a lot of spelling and grammatical errors at the towards the end of this book, and I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't know. Things aren't really making sense. And I am 74% in. I've got about 100 pages left. Well, 98. I'm probably gonna finish it. Do I really want to? Kind of no. And I'm really disappointed because I absolutely adored the first book. The first book was literally amazing. I will sing its praises all day long. Second book syndrome, dude. Second book syndrome.
Yeah,
I
it's a curse. Like it's not.
was like, oh, and like the
It's
beginning of
rough.
this one was pretty good, and then it just around the 60% mark, it's just like, oh, it's annoying now.
Yeah.
Uh, I haven't added any books. Be so proud of me. So I've been reading the same books. How many am I reading? Technically, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Six of those I haven't touched in weeks. I'm sad. I haven't finished a book in a month. That really sucks. Currently watching, I think I'm up to episode 6 of the second season of Physical 100. I really love Physical 100. It's flippin' awesome. Also, they're shirtless people with lots of muscles. And I just think it's cool. Uh, I don't I don't think I'm watching anything else. I think that's it. Life is a little bit boring at the moment. I am, however,
Yeah.
considering starting the show Hazbin Hotel because
Mm.
my For You page is being inundated with this
Same.
and
It's all over the
stuff
place.
about angel dust. And I'm just like, I really like the song Poison, and I'm just very intrigued by this show, so I'm probably gonna end up watching it. Oh, and I'm still rewatching Bridgerton. I'm still in season 1, but we're rewatching. So yeah, that's all I got. Today we're gonna talk about how we rate books, what equals the stars, and examples of books that we have rated these stars, why, and then some books that we have both read and how we rated them, and if it's very different. How our ratings have changed for books over the years, because I know once upon a time, a book that I rated 5 stars may not be 5 stars anymore because I'm no longer 14 and I have taste.
Yeah.
I'll have you go ahead and start. Also, while I'm hanging out, we know that I am a fidgeter and I like moving around. I have some crochet with me because I haven't crocheted in weeks because my hands have been hurting. So I've started crocheting again. So I'm working on a blanket and I'll show you guys that. And that's really fun. And then you can see me working on that while we're talking.
Yeah. I'm over here playing with my Nido Nice Cube that I got to replace my last stress ball.
My Nido Nice Cube. I thought it was an ice pack in the last episode. I was like, what the hell is that? Why is it square?
Yeah, it's a little ice cube. It's square.
That's cute. It's very
I love
cute.
it. It's very
My
squishy.
blanket
Okay.
for the
So I
world.
don't and for me, one of the biggest things that comes with like very cute. I love it. I like the colors.
You can barely see the colors, but it's like ombre peachy. There you go. It
Yeah.
looks more orange on camera, but it's fine.
Yeah. Um, for me, and I think this kind of goes for you too. I think you've said this before, but how fast I can read a book is one of the bigger things when it comes to rating it. And it's not like, oh, I get through this book like 1,000 words a minute or whatever. No, it's more of just like, am I interested enough in it that I want to keep reading? And I think that what that was like one of the issues with Priory. I because there was so much happening and so much to learn and take in and keep track of, I was just very confused the entire time and it was a lot to keep up with. So it was a very slow process of reading it. So that's kind of why it started like deducting points for me. So like cute.
I'm like trying to show it. I cracked it. Oh my God, you can't see it. I cracked it. I was
For
very
those of
sad.
you on
I did
Spotify, she has
cry.
a sheep crochet bowl. that she keeps her yarn in.
Matt got it for me a couple years ago. But yeah, it fell out of my yarn bag and it cracked and I literally bawled my eyes out. So I need a new one. I tried to fix it with like some super glue. I mean, it's still holding together, but it's cracked from like here at the front up underneath the face to almost, well, no, like all the way to the ass. All the way to the ass. So one of these days it's going to end up breaking. Um anyway, yes, I totally understand your point about like how long it takes. I put here for like me rating 5 stars, but like really in general, for 5 stars, doesn't feel like it took years off my life. Like if a
Yeah.
book is like taking forever to get into and understand what's going on, and it feels like it's longer than it is, I'm gonna rate it lower.
Yeah. Like if they take forever to start, which is why I kind of like took points off for Red, White, and Royal Blue because we talked about this, but it started so slow for me, and a lot of romance books do, in my opinion. So it took
It
off
just
points
started slow
because it
in
was
general.
yeah. But like books like Unwind and The Lunar Chronicles, they start very interestingly, so it got my attention very quickly, and you've read both of them. So um like it just I got through those books very quickly because of how interesting they were and how quickly they actually started. But they're also sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian books, so they usually tend to start pretty fast anyway.
For, let's see, for Unwind, what did you rate it? I'm assuming 5 stars.
Oh yeah, that baby's 5 stars. Even
I'm
back in
pretty
high
sure
school,
I did.
I still agree.
I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. I did give it 5 stars, and I did write a whole review about it. It's not a very long review. Um, now, like I say, if it takes a while to get into the book, I'm gonna rate it lower. But I said in my review, it took me a very long time to get through this because of motivation and also knowing it would hurt me. I think
Yeah.
this was one of the most thought-provoking books I've ever read. I was full on sobbing by the end of it. I will be continuing the series, and I know that's going to hurt me too, especially with what's going on in the world right now. This really hit home and was super upsetting. I loved every minute of it. Now, there is a difference between it taking a while to get into it because it's boring and taking a while to get into it because you're not ready for it or you don't have the motivation. So I talked about in the last episode like how I want to start Realmbreaker and I want to read it. And I tried to start reading it a couple years ago and I couldn't do it because I just wasn't in the right headspace. I'm a mood reader. And if
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood to read something, it's going to be really hard for me to get into it and it's going to take a while. Um, so like with A Little Life, I wasn't able to finish it in the 2 week library span because I was not ready for it. I was supposed to have longer on my like request time, and then bam, it was here and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can like mentally handle this. But then it's also like a heavy book, but still I wasn't like motivated, so it took me a hot minute to like actually get into it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big thing, like with my mood reading, like I'll just like start books and then I'll drop them and then I'll come back to them like months later and I feel bad, and it's like if I really really like it and I finally do get into it and I'm motivated to read it, I'm not going to take off points for me not being motivated to read it because that's a me problem, not a book problem.
Yeah. Well, like with Unwind, it gives you the background information like immediately because it has like um the law bill thing that they were using for the book on like the first page. So you knew what it was about anyway going into it. Which really set up the tone for everything. which really worked because then there wasn't a whole lot of backstory to get through because it was just right there. So it just worked. How important are characters to you? How much do they affect your rating?
I would say at least a good 50%. Again, on my list of like things that I put here, so for like 4 stars, like I would give it 4 stars if it like if I got the ick. And typically I'm gonna get the ick if a character irritates me. For 3 stars, if there are annoying characters. I So like I can really, really like it. Like with What Did You Do? Love it. I really like the main character. I like that she's an unreliable narrator. I like the male main character, Mendax. Now I don't like him because he has become annoying. But then there's also another character, Eli, who I talked about not liking. And because he irritates me so bad, it's like dropping this. Like we're already at 4 stars for this book, and it's probably going to go lower because now I'm no longer motivated to read it because the part I'm at is just gross. Not like, icky gross. It's like gross, like, where did the good writing go?
Yeah.
Where did it go? Where has it gone? I don't understand. I Characters definitely really affect my ratings. I just and uh the second novella for the Shatter Me series, I think it was Fracture Me. I gave it either 2 stars or 3 stars simply because it was based around Adam Kent. And I hate him and I didn't want anything to do with him. So like the vast majority of the novella was about him. So I was like, no, this is automatically getting 3 stars. I don't care. I can't
Yeah.
stand him.
Yeah. That's like, I mean, I agree. Characters are like a huge thing for me. I love characters. They're my favorite part of like writing anyway, which, yeah,
They make the
it's,
story. They're literally walking you through the story. You got to have
yeah.
good characters to have a good story, to have a good plot, because you can't have a plot without a character taking you through the plot and through the story. So if your characters suck, I'm gonna hate your fucking book.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But like you've read my thesis, so like with my main characters that I have, I put a lot of effort into them and I adore them a lot. So, even the ones that are assholes, which speaking of assholes, so I ask because I keep thinking about Red Queen and I wanted to bring it up
Mm-hmm.
because I rated them 4 stars. Mare and Cal they they annoy me. They're annoying. And I've told you this. I don't like Cal. I really don't. Even from the first book, I really don't like him. And then Mare she's a little dumb.
Yeah,
So it's not that I don't like her.
yeah.
It's just I think maybe there's some improvement to be done to have her as like the first person narrator, which I mean might be hypocritical for me to say because I know that my main characters that I have for the narrator has a lot to work on. But I don't know, something about Mare just she's too naive for me. So like, yeah.
I get that. So, okay. I read Red Queen originally in 2016. I've reread it at least 3 or 4 times. It's one of my favorite series. I did originally rate it at 5 stars because I was 16 or 17, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, and you have valid points, and I'm not going to judge you for them because I do totally get it. Now, one would also argue that she is so naive and dumb because she has essentially no education
Yeah, that's true.
and comes from the slums and lived in a shack and is super
Yeah.
poor. and had to go and be a pickpocket instead of going to school. And then was saving the world instead of going to school.
And like that is a fair argument, but
She is really stupid though. And Cal is also an asshole. You know, he does many things that are really dumb, and he does not have her back at all. He doesn't have her
no.
back at all. And, you know,
Am I supposed to be convinced that they actually love each other? Because to me, Mare seems more like she's infatuated with him. She reminds me
yes,
of middle school me.
yes.
So like it's
I
like
think that it is
I'm not convinced.
convenience and
Yeah.
trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Do I wish she had ended up with Maven instead? Yes. Yes, I do. I wish that we could have had someone that can fix brains, fix his brain, but nobody could fix his brain. So things end up the way that things end up. And am I sad about it? Many years later, when did I read Warstorm? When did I read Warstorm? 2019. It's been 5 years. I'm still upset. I still think about it on a regular basis. But yes, I get all of your points. I
Yeah.
rated all
And
of them
like
5 stars. I'm easily pleased. We know this. But then,
yeah.
like, when it gets past the being easily pleased and then you start doing stupid things in your writing, you're going to know about it. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you about it.
Yeah. And like one of the reasons why I love Maven so much as like a character is because he's very complex. And even though he's got issues, there's still parts of him that you're like, okay, I can see why you ended up this way. And you have a bit of an excuse. Whereas, and like it's not necessarily Mare's fault, but also I still don't understand why she trusted Maven when she didn't trust anyone else. Like I get it, he was a sweet talker and he's pretty, and I
He was
understand, but at
charismatic
the
and they
same
were
time,
gonna get married, Bethany.
okay, but she went into that castle. She's like, no, I can't trust any of the Silvers. And she turns around 2 seconds later, sees his face, and is like, oh yeah, he's the love of my life. He's gonna help me start a rebellion. And I'm like,
It's
are you
Maven Calor. Why
are
are
you
you
kidding
questioning
me?
things? That's my boy.
Okay, but see, that's when you join Maven's side and you're like, okay, I can be your evil queen with you, not expect him to be on your side. That was her mistake. She believed that he was going to be on her side when she didn't trust anyone else. You don't trust his mother. Why are you trusting him?
I don't think I will. Maven Calor.
Anyway,
Oh, the man that you are. Ah. So yes, yeah.
and I like honestly, I think age is a big part of it too. Because you said that you read these books when you were like 16. I'm reading them as an adult, so I see the stupidity of like teenagers, and I'm like, this would appeal to me as a teenager. I would have loved this 5 stars all the way. But as an adult, I'm like, all right, you got to be a little bit smarter than this.
Which is why I get, that you have issues with it as an adult, which is
Yeah.
also why you get that I have issues with Narnia as an
Yeah.
adult.
Yeah. It's not for us.
It's not for us, and that's okay.
Um, and like that's the same thing with rereading like the Percy Jackson series, which I might I might brave Titan's Curse eventually, some point soon. But I have to remember, I have to like remind myself that these books were written for middle schoolers. And so I like these characters are 12 years old. And it takes a minute for me to be like, okay, they're preteens, they're gonna make stupid decisions. They have Greek god parents. So it's something that I have to like constantly remind myself of. in order to like enjoy it, but I'm still able to, which is why I still love young adult. Because I can get past like the children, but when they start making really dumb decisions, I'm like, all right. So it kind of annoys me. And I think it's the beginning of Sea of Monsters when Percy gets mad at his mom for not letting him go back to Camp Half-Blood. And I'm like, you are 12 years old. Something is coming after you. Something is threatening your life. No, you're not going back. So I totally get it.
I made like a note on here about like the difference between like some of my ratings. So like I've said in a previous episode like how bad the Vampire Diaries books were.
Hmm.
I read them when I was a teenager. I gave the first one 5 stars. That has changed as an adult. Looking back on it, literally they're garbage. Like they're so bad.
Hmm.
I Oh my gosh. But yeah, my criteria for like 5 stars, I was easily pleased. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. Good dialogue. I gotta have good dialogue. If the dialogue is
Oh
awkward, I'm
yeah.
going to notice immediately. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Good
And that's why,
writing
yeah, that's why one of the biggest tips for writers is to say your dialogue out loud,
so that you're not
which,
just like, how are you, Lilibeth?
yeah.
Dost thou yonder reign? I don't know. Um,
What?
I don't know. Also as part of my criteria, you know, did it make me cry? Did it make
Yeah.
me cry?
Yeah.
If it made me cry, you're automatically getting like 4 stars. You know, it's because I like books that make me cry, man. I enjoy it if it okay, yes, we know that I'm a really easy crier, but I've been doing better lately. I've been doing better, and not everything makes me cry. So now if it makes me cry, it's like, "Oh, good job.
Yeah.
You you managed.
You managed.
You managed." I also put on here like no plot holes that I noticed because I will almost always notice plot holes
Yeah.
and it will irritate me.
Yeah. Well, see, like I don't really like I have the crying criteria too, but I'm not a big crier when it comes to books, so it's a lot harder. But if you do manage to make me cry, like you said, it's an automatic 4 stars, and then everything else kind of just factors in. So like Cemetery Boys, it was already at 4 stars, and then it made me cry for the entire second half of the book, and I was like, okay, 5. I will worship the ground this book walks on because it's amazing. Yes. Um,
Or go ahead.
but like it's not a super like it's not a criteria I apply to everything just because books don't make me cry very often. So when they do, it holds a lot of points in terms of stars.
Oh yeah. I let's see for 4 stars. I'm gonna take off a star if there's awkward dialogue.
Mhm.
Don't like it. I'm also gonna take off a star if there's like really long monologues that are there for no
Yeah.
reason, or
Yeah.
like extremely long paragraphs. The
Hmm.
only reason I'm not gonna give A Little Life 3 stars is because it is so incredibly well written and heart-wrenching that I can't give it less than 3 stars. I can't do it because it would be doing a disservice to this book because it is probably one of the most beautifully written books I've ever experienced in my whole life.
Yeah.
It just hurts and it's unnecessarily painful, but the author knows what she's doing.
Mhm.
I think she's a she. I have no idea. But it just hurts. It hurts and it just, yeah, ow. but it's got really long monologues and it's got really long paragraphs that go on for a full page or two. And I
Yeah.
just, ooh. Um, if it felt like it was taking too long, I'm gonna
Hmm.
pop off a star. And if I got the ick, if a character suddenly started doing things that I don't like, just all of a sudden it's like, oh, they reeled you in, and now, bam, something stupid like they're misogynistic or something. Then I'm be like, I didn't like that. Or if it's like during the spicy parts says something really stupid or something cringy and
Mm.
gross, I'm gonna be like, give me that star back. It's mine. You can't have that. So,
Yeah.
let's see, 5 stars. So I said I rated like the Vampire Diaries 5 stars back in 2015. Now it's like 2 stars. It's garbage. Uh, recently, I rated Crown of Midnight 5 stars. Did it take me a little while to get through it? Yes, because it's a physical book, and I've been trying to keep up with my Kindle Unlimited streak, which I lost yesterday because of Easter. We are filming this the day after Easter. It is April Fool's Day. Wow. I lost my Kindle Unlimited streak, and I'm really mad about it because I had been reading every single day on my Kindle for 390 days. That's over a year, and I lost it with myself. But I've still got my week streak, which is it'll be 109 today, I think. So, yay, 109 weeks in a row. Amazing. But yeah, I gave Crown of Midnight 5 stars. It deserves it. The whole Throne of Glass series probably deserves 5 stars because it's well written. It's good. It's well rounded. Good dialogue. Hot men. A really cool main character. Knives. Fairies. Monsters. Assassins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good. It's good. Yeah. Everybody says it's their favorite out of all of the Sarah J. Maas series.
Mm.
4 stars. I gave the first Shatter Me book 4 stars because of the crazy and how you got to get through a couple of chapters because this bitch is literally just like communicating through her journal and she's been in solitary confinement for like a long time and has had like
Mm.
no human interaction and she's just like really crazy and
Yeah.
you can tell and it's just very confusing and it's the way that things are like typed out in the book. It's like it's odd, things are like crossed out and it's just like kind of jumbled, but that's the whole point. It just gets a little bit confusing, but also
Yeah.
you don't like Adam Kent. uh I also gave Red, White, and Royal Blue 4 stars because I don't give a shit about politics. I
Yeah.
literally understood none of it. I wanted the gay, the smut, it needed a little bit more, and the banter. I didn't care about the politics. There were too much politics. The whole
Yeah.
point of the book is that it's a political romance,
Yeah.
but I didn't care about the politics.
Yeah. I've noticed that like you have like criterias for like specifically 4 stars. So like you'll take off stars for like certain things, whereas I do by points. And I think that's really interesting.
Every once in a while, I will like do like a half star or something,
Hmm.
like 3.5. Now Goodreads is stupid and only lets you do solid stars. So like if I'm doing a review, I'm gonna usually round up. Like if it's like 3.5 stars, then I'll round up to 4 unless I really hated it. Then
Yeah.
I'll round down. But usually if I really hated it, it's just gonna get the solid shitty stars. And I really don't care.
Yeah.
3 stars if it's got really bad dialogue, plot holes, bad writing, and annoying characters. Now, I say I have
Mm.
like this criteria for like certain stars. I really don't actually do any of this. This is
Mm.
just like what I think my brain goes through when I'm rating things and I'm like actually thinking about it. But really, most of the time, it's pure vibes, baby.
Yeah.
Pure vibes. I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? I really liked that. And I'll like immediately rate it 5 stars. And then a couple days later, I'll be like, you know. No, that was 4 stars. That was 4 stars. Or like I'll rate it like 3 stars and I'm like, I really didn't like that. I'll come back to it later and I'm like, you know what? No, no, I don't need to be nice. This was garbage. It's getting 1 star. I don't care.
Yeah.
I rated Jane Eyre 3 stars. It's
Mm.
a classic. They're good. I hate Mr. Rochester. I hate him. I've talked about it before. We will have a whole episode about classics, but I hate Mr. Rochester. And I hated Jane. I hated everyone in the book. I hated everyone in the book.
That's
If
fair.
I hate everyone in your book, you're getting bad stars. I
Yeah.
also rated Punk 57 3 stars. 5 stars, Bianca. Come on. 3 stars. I should have rated it lower now that I'm thinking about it because I really hated it. And they're 17-year-olds engaging in sexual situations in public and in the car. And it's really dumb. And there's miscommunication. It's a whole thing. And Penelope Douglas's writing is just really bad. I should have rated it lower. I should change it. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't as bad as Credence, which isn't saying much. Because Credence was one of the worst books I've ever read in my life. She's in her little pink bed. It's hard to see. My
Cute.
lighting is weird. I'm I'm learning. It's a process.
That's okay.
We're
I've got
figuring it out.
this holy light above me. It's fine.
We're
Whatever.
figuring it out. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
It's all okay. We'll be fine. We're holding each other's hands. Okay. So I have a book that I rated 3 stars that I don't know, kind of seems like it would catch some flack for.
People are gonna hate crime you.
Probably. So it's Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. It's the Arthurian legend retelling um that is like really popular. It's not that I didn't like the book because I really loved it and I love the Arthurian legend. It's one of my favorite. I love the show Merlin, and I'm still upset that we did not get season 6, and I'm mad that Arthur had to die, and I'm upset. Anyway, um, the the biggest issues that I've had with this book, and I have the sequel. I'm going to read the sequel eventually at some point when I get to it. Um, Legendborn is 500 pages. And to me, the book does not get exciting. Like a lot of stuff doesn't start to happen until the middle of the book. And it's like that really put me off of it. And I was like, this is really slow and really boring. But, I was like, okay, first book, what high fantasy ish. Um, I'll go with it. Okay, fine, whatever. And then you have the characters. I don't know why every character in this book needed a nickname, but when I tell you all of them had nicknames, I mean all of them had nicknames. I don't even remember what some of them were, but it was so unnecessary and I it was really dumb and it was really repetitive too because of the nicknames and they were all like very short. They were like 3-letter nicknames and they all kind of just there wasn't a reason given behind the nicknames. They were like, "Oh, this is Sarah and we call her Sar." Uh, What? Sarah is already a short name. It's 2 syllables. Why are you shortening? What kind of name is Sar? Huh? Excuse me? What do I look like calling someone that I just met Sar? Are you whatever? And then for some reason, the main character Bree gets mad at her friend for being mad at Bree No. Okay, so no, okay. Um, Bree, the main character, gets mad at her friend for getting mad at Bree because Bree got mad at her friend who wanted to take college seriously. And she got mad at Bree for not taking college seriously and like nearly sabotaging their scholarship that they have. That didn't make any sense. So I'm going to try and reword that. So Bree and the friend have scholarships. The friend is like in the beginning of the book has Bree and the friend like they come from like kind of poor backgrounds. So they're on this scholarship, they're college students, and they're just trying to make it. Bree is grieving her mom's death. Okay, fine. And then Bree meets this guy, and she finds this hidden underground Knights of the Round Table society thing. And she takes her friend to a party that they get caught at that they're not supposed to be at. And the friend gets mad at Bree for being like, hey, you risked our scholarship. You got us almost arrested. And I'm mad at you because you are ruining my chances at this college scholarship thing. And Bree gets mad at her friend for being mad that her scholarship was being risked. And I'm like, excuse me? Why are you mad? I get it. You're grieving your mom. You go do whatever it is you're gonna do. Don't involve your friend. Don't be mad at her. Let her have her own little college life that she's doing. Why are you dragging her into all of this? You're the one meeting creepy people in the woods who can do magic. Chill. So,
You're the one meeting creepy people in the woods who can do magic. Oh my gosh. So
yeah,
like
okay.
it's
It's not even that she meets this creepy person in the woods. She, like, this bonfire party or whatever, they get infiltrated or attacked by these magical creatures in the woods. And then the Merlins or Knights of the Round Table sorcerer people, they come out through the woods. One of them tries to wipe her memory, and then she remembers, and he gets all up in arms about it. He's the only character that I liked from the very beginning, if I'm being totally honest. There's a lot happening. And don't get me started on like her relationship with Nick. I love Nick, but it's still it's wild.
so it's a retelling of the Arthurian legend and they're also going to college.
Yes, it's a modern retelling.
Okay. Well,
Well, not really retelling. It's, I mean, it is kind of a retelling.
mm,
So
inspiration?
okay, so it's like the Arthurian legend happened, but it has like its own like futuristic, um, like society of sorts. So think of like, um, think of it like this. So you have the Arthurian legend and you have um like the beliefs that people have. You have the Knights of the Round Table. It's almost like the successors of the knights and the wizards from the Arthurian legend, and it's their far in the future descendants. Kind of like Greek life, kind of like a sorority, fraternity.
Alrighty then. Well, okay.
And
I
it's not that it's a bad book. It's well written, but Bree got on my nerves for the first half of the book, and then there are some things that I'm like, I think some things could be different, like the nicknames. Yeah,
I get that.
and
I
how
I
long
can't
it took the book
really
to start, but you know.
I can't really say shit because, I read The Raven Boys, which is a retelling also of the Arthurian legend, and they're also going to high school at a private high school where the main character Blue Has a scholarship because she's really poor.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's
That
similar,
seems to
just
be a
different age
that,
groups.
yeah, that seems to be a theme with Arthurian legend retellings. They're always teenagers,
I
they're always poor for some reason.
scholarships. I I did enjoy the Raven Boys. Did it take me a while to get into it because I didn't understand most of what was going on? Yes. Do I like Arthurian retellings? No, I don't care for it in general. Bethany is aware of this. I
Mhm.
won't be watching Merlin. I really don't care for it. The Knights of the Round Table thing, it's not my thing. It bores the hell out of me. I don't like it. It's
I
boring.
respect that, but I think that there is a lot of drama that I think you would enjoy from it. Because like the
Understandable.
whole Guinevere, Lancelot, Arthur, like trio, like infidelity, like it's all that drama. And then you have Merlin that everyone kind of is like, okay, something a little fruity is going on here, but we're going to ignore it because we all die at age 20 anyway. So, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But there's a lot of
Why not?
drama in the Arthurian legend that I think you might actually enjoy. But I respect your decision. It really is hit or miss with a lot of people, so it's not that big of a deal. But I did once I got past everything in the first half of Legendborn, I did like it, so I'm gonna read Bloodmarked and I'm gonna read the third book when it comes out next year, I think, is when it's scheduled to come out. So, but it that first half of the book, I've got issues with it, but it's fine.
Understandable. Back to the star system. Two
I had to,
stars.
I had to go on my own little rant. You've ranted several times in the past couple of episodes. I had to go on my own.
Yes. Tell me to shut up if you want to rant. Really. You need to talk more. I'll just keep talking and I forget about it. I, let's see, 2 stars. All the stuff for 3 stars, but then also, if I guess the plot twist early, I'm gonna be really irritated. Like,
Mm,
say in like my stalker romances, like Pretty Monster, I literally guessed who the stalker was immediately. And I was like, I don't like it anymore.
yeah,
I want to guess. I want to be kept on my toes. The point is that they're a stalker. You're not supposed to know who they are.
yeah.
Things are obvious, then it's dumb. A couple books that I rated 2 stars, I've talked about it before and said that I would talk about it in a part 2 of books we have beef with. Places No One Knows by Brenna Yovanoff. I suffered through the whole thing. There were lots of plot holes. I still don't understand what was up with the damn candle. What was up with the candle? Why were they astral projecting? What the hell was going on? I just, the characters were annoying. Just none of it made sense. But I was also like really disappointed because I love all of Brenna Yovanoff's other books.
Hmm.
And for it to suck that bad was just like, dude, what the hell? I
Yeah.
also rated Welcome to the Dark Side 2 stars. Probably should have gave it 1 star, but I gave it 2 stars because I did enjoy one part of it. Or did I? No. I'm thinking of It Ain't Me, Babe. 1 star, literally all I put right here was garbage. It gets 1 star if it's garbage.
Mm,
And It Ain't Me, Babe. Got that. I enjoyed
yeah.
exactly one scene. The rest of it was terrible. Welcome to the Dark Side, I probably need to bump down to 1 star. Thinking about it because what the hell? I went on a whole rant about how she was 17 and the grooming and the everything and the 20-year age gap and the blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I also rated All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling as 1 star. Did my book talk video about it go viral? Yes. You get 1 star just for that. That's it.
I I haven't rated anything 1 star. Just because I know what I like, but also if I'm going to rate something a 1 star, it would probably be Water for Elephants. But I didn't for the sole fact that I finished it. Maybe that's
Fair.
too high of a standard. Maybe you get 1 star if I finish it, because at least I finished it, and that's all you get. Because I don't think I liked anything about Water for Elephants.
If I finish it, I mean, if I don't finish it, it's not getting rated. I'm not
Yeah,
reviewing it. I'm taking it off of my shelves. Unless it's an arc, then I'll put like
yeah.
DNF, whatever. Because I'm like, okay, I put effort into it and somebody asked me to do this and, or I chose to do this. I've rated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books as 1 star. And they are
No, you
Romeo
know
and
what?
Juliet.
I'm changing one of my reviews to a 1 star.
Yes. Romeo and Juliet. I literally hate Shakespeare. I hate Shakespeare so much, it's not even funny.
Same.
I hate
I
Shakespeare.
absolutely, yes. And my students know that. Like, I have a very big disdain for Shakespeare, and every time I have to bring him up because of the impact that he had on the English language, I roll my eyes and I make it very clear to them, like, I don't like talking about this man, but I have to. Um, but the book that I'm changing the rating on is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I gave it 2 stars. It doesn't even deserve a 1 star. That's like a 0.02, but I'm changing it to a 1 because it sucked. It was very bad.
I don't understand why it was a thing. I haven't read
Yeah.
it. I don't really know what it's about. I don't
Don't
understand why it's a thing. But yeah. Screw you,
it
Shakespeare. Screw you, J.K. Rowling.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child will ruin everything about Harry Potter for you. I mean,
I'll love
JKR
that.
has done that anyway, but like everything that she did or set up in Harry Potter completely ruined.
What is it about?
It so stupid. So it's about Albus Potter, and Severus. I think they get a hold of a time turner. I'm not entirely sure, but um, Albus and Scorpius, was that Draco's son's name? I don't remember. But they're like best friends. They're in Slytherin together. Um, they're BFFs, they're homies. Cool. That's like the only thing I liked about that book. Um, and then they go into the past or something because Harry's a terrible father and he doesn't love his children or something like that. Um, and they kind of get stuck. And then they find out there's a lot of stuff that I'm skipping over because I don't remember. That's how much I blocked out from this book. But they find out that Voldemort has a daughter and she is trying to like finish what he started. So she's coming after Harry, I think, again. And then Harry dresses up as Voldemort to fool his daughter, and it's a whole thing, and they have this fight in a house in something, and I Jenny's having a panic attack because her husband is dressed up like Voldemort, and it's very weird. It's wild, but I don't remember any of it. It was a roller coaster of emotions and it was terrible. I 10 out of 10 do not recommend. You are not losing anything by not reading it. Your life, you will have wasted your time. So,
That's how I feel about the next two books that I had on my 1 stars. If I Stay and Where She Went by Gayle Forman. If I Stay became a movie
yeah, fair.
with Chloe Grace Moretz, and they're literally awful. And like I think I blocked out the whole second book, but like the whole point of the first book is she's like, oh, should I stay and survive without my family?
Should I
Or
stay or
should
should
I
I go?
not? And it's just like back and forth, and literally it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
They're two books that shouldn't have been written.
Yeah.
They
I
just
read
shouldn't
those
have been written.
books. Yeah, I read those books when I was like 14. So I liked them at the time. But then I started thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, it's not really
I
that
also read
great.
them at 14 and I hated them immediately. I was like, no, this is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
This should not exist. Yeah. The only other book that I rated 1 star is Truck Driver by Jessa Kane, which was again on my list of books I have beef with. And made no sense. Plot holes, bad dialogue, bad writing, huge age gap. He kidnaps her. The conflict in the book made no sense. And apparently there's like people on TikTok that like go to bat for this author and her books, and I'm like, this book
Why?
literally feels like it's a joke. I I think some of them are. Oh, okay. She has other books. One is called Step Stalker, and another is My Husband, My Stalker. We know how I feel about that.
Oh my God.
Uh, My Best Friend, My Stalker. The Mobster's Masseuse. I like it. Tutoring the Delinquent. Okay. I These are
I love
the
the Wattpad titles.
oh, Coaxing the Roughneck. What's it about? Let's see. Cindy just inherited an oil rig in the middle of the Gulf. Selling it will give her enough money to move into an apartment without leaks or loud parties downstairs. Not to mention, some cash will help jumpstart her landscaping business. There's one king-sized problem, however. His name is Butch. He hasn't left the engine room of the oil rig in years, and he's not about to vacate now. Luckily, Cindy has a plan for coaxing Big Bad Butch up to the surface of the rig. Temptation. But they don't call Butch a roughneck for nothing, and she's about to get a lot more than she bargained for. So you're telling me that this man just lives in the engine room, like he just don't leave? He don't. Someone I know on Goodreads rated it 4 stars.
Well, now you gotta try
Someone
it.
someone else said a romance for the ages.
Oh dear.
Oh my God, hold on, no. Hold on, this review. That moment when the love of your life, whom you just met 2 days ago, comes roaring around the corner, pounding his bare chest without any shoes or socks and shouting your name whilst you're grinding yourself against gardening tools. That, my friends, is a little bit scary, but also pure love, apparently. I love bad reviews. I
Me
love
too. They're my favorite.
bad reviews. I
I'll even go on books that I love and I'll look at the bad reviews.
I'm adding this to the list. Bad reviews. I know I have on here like to guess the book from bad reviews or like guess the movie from bad reviews, but just like in general, just bad reviews, just reading bad reviews because they're fun.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of these other. My Stalker, My Protector. When the Farmer Met the City Girl.
You
Property
know,
of Pops. Now hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. Obviously, this is what it's about, but okay. Coco has never been on vacation, but she certainly didn't expect to fall in love on her very first one. Even more unexpected, the man who catches her eye, her heart, and her bikini regions is her best friend's grandfather. Walt is a 4-star general and in better shape than the younger men vying for Coco's attention, but he's 3 times her age. Not to mention her BFF will flip if she finds out what they've been doing behind closed doors. Despite Walt's gruff pronouncements that it can't happen again. But even a military hero's will is only so strong. He's caving, and his heart is already 10 steps ahead. Oh my fucking god. This reminds me of, oh my god. I don't know who the author is, but like, Pregnant by My Grandpa's Boyfriend. Have you seen the covers for those? No?
I hope you can feel the judgment. Because
They come up on like, obviously I'm not gonna read it. People are making fun of how bad the covers are and like the weird titles.
we are
Pregnant
not on the same side
by
of the internet.
Did you hear that?
She's got things to say. She's telling you to
He
stop being so
does.
weird. She's concerned. She's going to put you in a rubber room.
Quan Mills. Quan Mills with a Z. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Pregnant by my granddaddy's boyfriend. I'm sending you a screenshot. Quan Mills. Quan Mills. I'm going to go find this person on Goodreads if they have a page. Oh my god, the very first one that pops up is this bitch got roaches in her crib.
Oh, yeah. I think you've sent me these. I think we've looked at these before.
Old thought next door. Oh my god.
Oh, you know what
Pastors
what
eat
I thought
pussy
of
too.
for
Wussy. That's
something I thought
exactly
of
how it's
that
spelled too.
affects my ratings is the endings. Because I just thought of the ending for Allegiant. And I gave it 2
Yeah.
stars for that very
Yeah.
reason.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. These are ridiculous. Pregnant by my mother's gay husband. I'm having the time of my life. My baby mama is a loser. Oh my god, my boyfriend beats me, but I still love him. What?
Okay.
This is.
Therapy.
Oh man. Quan Mills. This is ridiculous. But yes, the ending. If everything is going really, really well, and then you decide to wrap up the whole book in 10 very fast pages and you ruin everything, we're dropping stars. I literally
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, no, the ending will automatically take off at least 2, if I'm being completely honest. I'm trying to think of ones, because I know Allegiant was one that I rated for the ending. I I think Priory, I did that for the ending because it seemed to wrap up pretty fast, which I didn't really like. Um, I think those are the only 2 that come to mind, though. But I also have luck with picking books with decent endings,
Fair.
usually.
My baby daddy stole my tax refund. I'm having so much fun just going through these. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with anything. Your granny, my sneaky link. Crack hoe dreams. Pregnant by my gay stepdaddy. They're so dumb. Who comes up with this? All he wants for Christmas is a fingerling. Not the potato shifter. I'm having a great time. My pastor got a stripper pregnant. Oh, these are books that I would read for book talk. I would give them really bad ratings, but then I would read them for book talk specifically for my reading off the wall Kindle Unlimited books series, just for shits and giggles. Uh,
Are any of them on Kindle Unlimited?
they might be. Let's see. I'm gonna find out. Let's go search for Quan Mills. Quan Mills. Quan Mills. Yes. This hoe got roaches in her crib. I'm gonna read it for book talk. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm really not. But yes. Back to the matter at hand. I'm really bad about going off on tangents. I I also kind of add on to like book ratings because of covers. If it's a really good book, but it has a really bad cover, but also it's gonna get me to read it if it has a good cover. And if it doesn't, I'm probably not gonna read it. But I don't know. I feel like if the cover is really bad, I gotta say something. I gotta say something.
Yeah.
I've gone
Well, I mean,
through,
covers don't really affect my ratings, really. Because like if I managed to pick up the book, I think you already did a decent job on the cover. Um, but I mean, yeah, it kind of like follows the saying of like beauty's on the inside. If you have an ugly cover, there's still something to say about that.
I know there are some people that like, who do book reviews, whatever, and like if they're reading arcs, uh, some people say like, you wrote the book, you automatically get 3 stars. Or like authors that like have written books, they're like, I wrote the book. I deserve to get a good rating. I deserve to have at least 3 stars because I wrote the book. No,
Awful.
I don't believe in that.
No.
I don't give a damn if you wrote the book and you think you did a good job or whatever. If I don't like it, I don't like it. It ain't me,
Yeah.
babe. It's forever going to have 1 star. I literally don't care.
Yeah.
It's bad. I don't care. See if I care. I don't. I I think we've gone through like a couple. I mean, most of the books that we've both read are like
All of the
YA
ratings are,
books.
yeah, and all of the ratings that we did give them are pretty similar,
Yeah,
with maybe like
we
1 star difference.
we don't read a lot of the same books now. Anyway, like when we
Yeah.
were younger, we definitely did, but we had the same taste in books. And again, I was very easily pleased, so I was given everything 5 stars and I just didn't care.
Yeah.
And now I'm
I
like,
kept a lot of the like 4 stars that I gave to books from my childhood. I'm gonna keep those because I'm not gonna read them again as an adult. And I'm going to keep the rating that like I gave them as a teen, preteen, because I enjoyed them at the time. I don't and have any intention to read them again. So to me, those will always be 5 stars, and I'm not going to ruin that for myself.
yeah,
Preteen me would be very sad if I did that. So I'm not going to touch those books ever again. So if you go on my Goodreads and you see mermaid books and they're rated 5 stars, ignore them. I read them when I was like 10 years old. It's okay.
none of your business.
It's none of your business whether or not I enjoyed mermaid books. But they were actually really good. Like from my memory of them, they were pretty good. I really liked them. I wish I still had them.
And now it's like, God, I'm so easily pleased literally 90% of the time. I'm gonna give a book 5 stars. Like I only like bump it down
You have to
if it
really
did
mess
something
up.
major. Because like
Yeah.
I really just don't care. I'm here for vibes.
Yeah.
But like if you're really messing up with like the dialogue and the writing and everything, like at that point you just deserve for me to take away a star.
Yeah.
I don't care. I do what I want.
I
I'm
do
the
what I
one
want,
leaving a
mom.
review.
Yeah. Reviews And Goodreads are not spaces for authors. And I say that as a writer myself. We do not belong in reader spaces.
Like, you are allowed to feel however you feel, you know.
You can read
Eh,
your reviews if you want. It's
yeah,
recommended that you don't
it's
because
gonna
you're
hurt
going
your
to get,
feelings.
yeah, and you're going to get defensive. But like as a writer, my readers are going to feel what they're going to feel. And sure, whatever. Okay, cool. You read my book. That's all I ask. Whether or not you hated it.
Any review is somebody paying attention to your book.
Yeah,
Somebody read your book. Somebody cared enough to leave a review, whether it was positive or negative. And
yeah,
even a negative review sometimes will make people be like, no, there's no way. And then they're going to read your book just to disprove that person. Because I do
yeah.
that all the time. But you can read your reviews if you really want to. It's going to hurt your feelings, but you can't be like these crazy bitches on TikTok that be like ripping people apart for giving them 3-star reviews and then completely ruining their careers before they even start. Like, dude, come on. The one lady that like started bashing someone and making fake accounts and everything, and it's like, girl, you literally just shot
Yeah.
yourself in the foot and it what are you
Yeah.
doing?
We can make a
What are,
whole episode on that, dude.
it's one of my author icks, man. Don't be messing with people. You're gonna hurt your feelings if you're looking at your
Not even
reviews. It's not for
not
you.
even that. Not even that. It's more of like yes, you are going to hurt your own feelings if you read the reviews, but also if you get caught doing something stupid like making fake accounts and flooding bad reviews, the internet is going to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
So, maybe be mature and stay away from it.
You're gonna get canceled, my guy. We're in the
Yeah,
age of the internet.
and then you're going to get book deals canceled because no one wants to work with you because you're a terrible person now because you did a
And
terrible
then you're
thing.
screwed.
Yeah, and now no one's going to read your book.
Then you gotta go be a grocery
Yeah.
cashier. Not that there's
Did you
anything wrong with that. That's just the first job I thought of.
Yeah. Did you hear about the author who bought like 10,000 copies of her own book and scammed the New York Times bestseller list and knocked
No.
out? Okay, so it knocked out the Hate You Give from the #1 spot for like 24 hours because she bought in bulk her own book. And then she got kicked off because people realized like we've never even heard of this book. Why is it #1? I will I will have to send you like the entire detailed thing of it later. I'll do that after this. But it's wild.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not even
apparently
gonna
the
get
book was
into that.
absolutely garbage too. So, because
Yeah,
like
that
a
checks
couple
out.
people read it because they were curious to know what it was about. And they were like they made like booktube videos for it. It's so funny because the book is awful. And I think she plagiarized the cover too. So,
I've mentioned cinnamon lore before. Here she is. Cinnamon, don't you what at me? Come here. Come here. Come. Come hither. This is my fluffy, beautiful baby girl. Come. I'm gonna try and get her up to the camera. She really loves to be pet. So I would like to know how you have the money to buy 10,000 copies of your book. How do you have the money?
Uh,
Cinnamon, cinnamon. She said goodbye. She has left. You got to see a little bit of her, and that's all you get. Just she she's a very mysterious lady. Very mysterious. Now she's on my bookshelf and you can't see her. It's fine.
it wasn't 10,000 copies, it was 18,000 copies.
How do you have the money? Like, did you use your like publishing advance to buy 18,000 copies? Because like each book would be what, 15, 20 bucks? Unless, you got like a bulk order deal.
I don't
Let's
even think it
see.
was that. I don't think that it was traditionally published, if I'm being totally honest. I'll have to look.
Because like
Yeah.
I'm very curious because it's like say it were traditionally published and it's like 15 bucks a book. For 18,000 copies, that's $270,000. I like, did you just have the money just lying around? My cinnamon. My cinnamon. Hey. She wants nothing to do with me now. She likes when the other cats are not around. Clementine is in the bed. So she's
It
like, you know
was
what? No.
published by Geek
My cinnamon.
Nation Press, which I have never even heard of. So
Well, I hope it was worth it. 'Cause now your career is ruined. It's shot. You're done.
I I think you don't need to read it, but I think that like you should watch some of the booktube reviews on it. And there's one video in particular that I can send you that I found absolutely hilarious
Do
because
that.
he reads the book and he shows you lines from the book and you're like, this thing got published somehow. So I will definitely do that.
I this is this is people being too confident in their work. I mean,
Yeah.
healthy confidence and healthy happiness in your work, but you gotta be a little bit humble. At least a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. But yeah, I hope it was worth it. Man, I wonder how much the book was going for, and I wonder how much she paid for 18,000 copies. Like I get, buying one or two or getting a couple for, your friends and your family or, getting some and then signing them and then giving them away. But 18,000 copies. 18,000
Yeah.
copies? What could possibly possess you to want to do that? That's
I
mental
think
illness.
I think she was intending to sell them at like this artist alley convention thing of some sort, but yeah, that didn't quite work out.
Did you think people weren't gonna find out
Yeah.
when you were on the New York Times bestseller list and they didn't know who you were and no one had bought your books? You
Yeah.
thought people wouldn't find out? Oh my
Because they're like, there
gosh.
weren't reviews or anything for this book, and then when they looked it up, people were like, "What is this about? Like, what, like?" And like, nothing came up, so they were very confused. So when people get confused, they go looking, and when they go looking, they find things. So it's
People
ridiculous.
are dumb and stop thinking that people are not going to find out on the internet things that you have done because they are going to find out on the
Yeah,
internet things that you have done.
on the
Like, come
internet,
on. I
digital footprint, yo.
The internet is forever. Just so you know. Just so you know. And on that note, that's all we have to say about ratings and authors being dumb and books that might get us canceled for not liking them, but not the last one because nobody likes it. Nobody likes it, and that's fine. So, we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. I hope you enjoyed seeing Cinnamon for the very first time, other than in pictures. Uh, and we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify. Maybe you wanted to see our faces, maybe you didn't. Who knows? We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
I'm going to go to bed now. Goodbye. I have to get up at 5:30, okay? Leave me alone.
Goodbye.
Bye.